So I think so far we've been in the realm where it's, you can do like an incredible copywriting business, or you can do like a sort of like education service or whatever. But I don't think we've yet seen the kind of like people go after the like, $1 trillion like take on Google's. And I think that's about to happen. Like maybe it'll be successful, maybe Google will do it themselves, but like I would guess that with the quality of language models we'll see in the coming years, there will be like a serious challenge to Google for the first time for a search product.
The ChatGPT chatbot tool developed by OpenAI has gained widespread popularity since its release in November. And as OpenAI CEO Sam Altman just highlighted in this short video clip, chatbots could fundamentally change how people find information online, creating a behavioral change that was unthinkable only a few months ago, and that could lead to significant problems for the trillion-dollar company Google. There are even rumors that some employees at Google, which is spending billions of dollars on developing its own AI capabilities, are wondering whether Google is a bit late to the party here and whether OpenAI's ChatGPT can actually take away a significant portion of market share from Google, which as of now stands at a whopping 92.2%. So to figure out whether chatbots powered by artificial intelligence could potentially pose a serious threat to Google's dominance, I decided to test out ChatGPT for myself. Instead of Googling the 5 questions I recently had throughout the day, I used OpenAI's chatbot. So is it really a viable alternative to Google, and could ChatGPT fundamentally change how people search for information online? Let's find out. Alright, so the first question I've been thinking about for quite some time now is what Christmas gift I should get for my 1-year-old godchild. So I asked ChatGPT if it could come up with a list of 5 ideas. And as a 1-year-old toddler is obviously not able to tell us what he exactly wants, I asked the chatbot to find gift ideas that will foster the boy's creativity and imagination. And you can let me know what you think of the chatbot's response, but I think it is actually pretty good. I particularly liked how the chatbot is able to explain why each type of gift is suitable to help the young kid to develop creative thinking skills. Here's the problem though. Where do I go from here? As the OpenAI chatbot doesn't include any links, I will inevitably have to go to Google to look for online retailers that sell these types of products. I just directly head to Amazon to find the product on Amazon's platform. In fact, if you didn't know, Amazon is considered Google's most direct competitor in the product search area, as 74% of online shoppers actually start their product search on the Amazon platform. Now, if you type in a similar search query on Google search, you will come across hundreds of, almost thousands different blog posts that include images of the products, short descriptions of why the products are ideal gifts for a 1-year-old toddler, and maybe most importantly, direct links to retailers where you can then buy the product. What's also worth highlighting here is that online search is all about personalization. Personalized search is a feature offered by Google that basically tailors search results to an individual's user's interests and search history. So Google will use information about the user's, as I just said, search history, his or her location, and other factors to actually prioritize and display results that are more relevant to that particular user. And I think especially when it comes to product search, when you're looking for specific products or product categories, Google's personalized knowledge about its users, which helps Google to find more suitable and targeted results, definitely gives the traditional search engine an edge here. So I think the clear winner here is Google. Next, I tried a different type of search request. A friend of mine, he's currently looking for a new job in the IT sector, and he was approached by a headhunter on LinkedIn the other day. Just like me, he's not a native speaker of English, so he asked me to proofread his response and to fine-tune it with regard to accuracy and maybe appropriateness. So again, I headed to ChatGPT and simply asked the chatbot to proofread the text. And then in a follow-up step, I asked the chatbot to fine-tune the text in terms of the 2 criteria that I just mentioned. And what I'll do here is I will show you all 3 versions side by side, and you can decide for yourself what you think of the final outcome. As for me, I think having a chatbot that can do these kind of things is absolutely mind-blowing. And quite frankly, I think there's simply no alternative offer that is provided by Google's traditional search products. The only option I can think of is to use maybe Google Docs to let it proofread a written document, but I think the clear winner with regard to this second search request is OpenAI's ChatGPT. Okay, my third search request during this day was actually a medical search query. And I'm pretty sure you are all familiar with the following observation. While our parents' generation would probably often tell us to just wait and see when we are complaining about specific symptoms. They will say, just walk it off. If you will Google your symptoms to figure out what exactly you are suffering from, chances are that after reading a couple of forum posts, you might actually end up thinking that you've got cancer and are about to die, even though it might just be a regular cold. So to test the chatbot, I simply asked ChatGPT whether it is safe to take ibuprofen when one is also taking blood pressure medication. And here's the AI's response. What I particularly liked about this response is first of all the conciseness of the information, while at the same time the chatbot also emphasized the importance of seeking medical advice from an actual doctor before taking any medication while being on blood pressure drugs. Now, when I googled the very same medical question, I felt like the answers I found were a bit conflicting and at times all over the place. Some sources cited specific recent studies and suggested that it is not safe to take ibuprofen when using hypertension drugs, while other sources provided similar information to the information provided by ChatGPT. And quite frankly, I actually had to rephrase my question a couple of times, and I fought my way through various websites and long articles, and I said the results were at times quite conflicting, and to me, as someone who's not a medical expert, confusing. And as I'm not a doctor myself, I really don't know whether I should give ChatGPT or Google the point here. As I said, I like the conciseness of the chatbot's response and that it stressed that it is important to talk to your healthcare provider about potential interactions between different drugs. So I'm kind of leaning towards ChatGPT, but at the same time, I cannot say with a high degree of certainty whether the chatbot's response is actually factually correct. So I'll just say that it's a tie here, and if you have some kind of medical know-how, feel free to share your thoughts on the two different search results in the comments down below. All right, on to question number 4. In around 2 weeks' time, my parents, my stepbrother and his girlfriend, my fiance and I, we will spend a couple of days in the Netherlands in a small town called Markham. So I was looking for a great place to have breakfast. And quite frankly, the ChatGPT's result was outright disappointing. As for whatever reason, the chatbot thought it needed to access real-time data to come up with an appropriate recommendation. And it actually said that I should use another search engine to find cafes in that area. So I headed to Google, and unsurprisingly, the search result was much more satisfying. I can immediately see some pictures of the different locations. I get to see a map on which I can find markers of the different cafes. I also see the Google Maps ratings, and I could potentially read some reviews. If I scroll down a little bit further, I can also navigate to TripAdvisor, which usually also comes up with a great list of recommendations based on its users' ratings. So as I said, the overall result here is vastly superior, and the clear winner is Google, giving it a 2-to-1 lead now. Next, I came up with a totally different search request. As a YouTube creator, I'm always looking for new content ideas. And as my more recent videos on ChatGPT have done phenomenally well, averaging like 100 times more views than my regular videos, I simply asked the ChatGPT chatbot to come up with a list of YouTube video ideas on the emergence of ChatGPT as an alternative for Google search. And don't get me wrong here, my channel is absolutely focused on the art of intelligent investing. But as an investor, I find the emergence of AI absolutely fascinating. And as a Google shareholder myself, I think it's important to track and assess the very real risks that OpenAI's ChatGPT is posing to Google. So to get back to ChatGPT's result, I think the idea generation capabilities of ChatGPT are absolutely phenomenal, and I could actually proceed and ask the chatbot to write a short and catchy script for the intro of a new video that is focused on, let's say, idea number 5. And again, I think the capabilities of the OpenAI chatbot when it comes to such creative tasks writing scripts, generating ideas, writing poems, or maybe even legal letters, and so on and so forth, are just absolutely stunning. And I think the offering of Google Search in its current form simply cannot compete with this. So I think the clear winner here is OpenAI's ChatGPT, which brings us to my final verdict. As of now, the developers of OpenAI are currently being very cautious when it comes to making any bold statements publicly regarding ChatGPT's capabilities. In fact, OpenAI's CEO Sam Altman stated in a tweet on December 10th that ChatGPT is currently, quote-unquote, incredibly limited, and that it would be, quote-unquote, a mistake to be relying on it for anything important right now. But of course, the more people use ChatGPT, the more it will improve. And I think over time, OpenAI could actually turn out to be a very serious competitor to Google in this trillion-dollar market of search. And in some areas, as we have just shown, the chatbot may already have a slight edge over Google's traditional search engine. Especially when it comes to knowledge-based question, the real value of ChatGPT is probably its ability to explain complex subjects as if you were talking to another human being. And in contrast to a Google search result, you get a very concise answer and you don't have to fight your way through hundreds of different links. But then again, sometimes the chatbot doesn't hesitate to provide an answer that might actually be completely wrong. And if you have no expertise in that particular field, about the topic at hand, I think there's no way for you to identify this misinformation, which bears a very real risk as well. Another strength of the chatbot though is that it can complete certain productive and creative tasks, like writing TV show video scripts, letters to your landlord, or even some lines of code. And again, Google Search in its current form cannot do that. On the other hand, many search queries require us to actually visit specific websites. And Google, with its unbelievable amounts of data, can better tailor the search results to individual interests and behavior. All right, I recommend you check out the following video next. Take care.